a couple minutes to get in here, but we are starting our workshop in just a few moments here. Let's do, all right, do that, and do that. Oop, unmute. There we go. Now I'm not muted. All right. So as I am working on getting technology going for both my Facebook and my Zoom. So we're going to be doing there. I'm just putting some links into the comment box in the Facebook group. You've got it. It's already in the description. There are links to the workshop landing pages where you can find out more information about all of the workshops that I'm going to be doing through now until close to the end of July. There's also my website where you can catch me on social media on any of the, whether it's Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. And there's also a link that I'm putting in for this wonderful event that happens every year around the first weekend in August-ish, and that is the Midwest Herb Fest. It is being held at the Glastonbury Institute for Sustainable Living, and it's near Culver, Indiana, and I will actually be out there this summer presenting flower essences. I'm going to do a two-part workshop, and it's going to take everybody from the beginning, creating the mother essence, all the way through to the bottling them up and portioning them out. And I'm very excited about being a part of the Midwest Herb Fest again. So actually, in case you are interested, here you go, herbaleducationinc.com. I got it on both screens at the same time. Woohoo! Alrighty, so this is where you go to get information on the Midwest Herb Fest. And of course, here's my wonderful website, lindentreeintuitive.com. Pop on over, see if there's anything there that resonates with you. All right, so let me finish getting these links into the Zoom. Oh my goodness gracious, as I give people a couple more minutes to get here. So let's see. Let's see. All right, there's that one. And there's that one. Social media stuff. So on social media, as I said, I'm on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, obviously, and Twitter, and Lindentry Intuitive for all of those. So you can find me that way. And then let's get this one in here, Midwest Herb Fest. And that is herbaleducationinc.com. By the way, the Midwest Herb Fest is family friendly, so you can bring the kids, and there are activities for the kids to do, and it's a lot of fun. Great people, great education. We do workshops on all sorts of herbal ideas, and it's very educational, but very fun, and it's very relaxing too. So check it out. All right, so I'll give another minute here for people to come in, and then we will start away. If you do ever have any questions about flower essences or any of the other things that I do, please feel free to, you can email me at lindentreeintuitive@gmail.com. Actually, I could probably put that one in there too. So let's see. Alrighty, so hopefully I spelled that right. And let's get that up here too. All right. Oh, well, I goofed up on that one. There's a .com in there. .com. My old keyboard is just not cooperating. All right, so we are going to get started here. Welcome. I'm Elizabeth Russell, and I am an intuitive holistic wellness mentor. I am a teacher, and I am an herbalist. And I have worked with plant medicine since I was old enough to help my Nana weed the flower bed. And it was through her and my mother that I learned to sing to the plants and appreciate the healing abilities that comes with our plant allies, which they are willing to share with us. And what I love to do now is to teach others about the wonderful healing abilities of plants, trees, flowers, all these wonderful things that the earth provides for us. I love to teach it through the use of tinctures and teas and salves and essences, and there are so many ways that you can actually use herbal medicine. And I'm really happy to have you here with me today so that we can learn more and that I can share this knowledge with you too. So just a little bit of background. In 2013, I left a teaching job. I taught public school, high school Spanish for over 20 years. And in 2012, I decided to actually go back to school to renew my love of herbal medicine. And in 2015, then I graduated with honors from the American College of Healthcare Sciences, which is based in Portland, Oregon. And I got a degree in holistic health practitioner with diplomas in I had a focus in herbal medicine. And then I also got certificates with natural product manufacturing and herbal retail management. Since then, I have continued to do a lot of research and learning on my own, and I've created a line of herbal-based products that I do sell. If you're interested, you can contact me, visit my website, because this isn't about this. We're talking today about flower essences. So welcome to Flower Essences and Introduction. This is a free workshop, and it is going to be about 45 minutes long or so. So if you want to grab something to drink, pen and paper so you can take some notes. And if you stay till the end, I will give you a link to the freebie gift just to say thank you for attending my workshop. All right, so what is a flower essence? Flower essences, if you are familiar at all with energetic healing modalities, a flower essence works along the same lines as that. It is an energetic modality. It is a vibrational elixir. Some people call them energetic infusions. They have all sorts of names. You may know them by flower remedies also. The most famous was created by Dr. Edward Bach. Actually, he started it, so we'll talk about him in a moment. So basically, they work on the vibrational properties that flowers have within themselves. And they have actually done photography where they have shown the energy that is given off by flowers, and you can pick them and you can actually see the energy dissipating. They've done it with flowers and leaves, and it's really kind of cool. But this energy that flowers impart, if you go back and you look at the symbolism of flowers, so a lot of the flower essence properties will echo the symbolism of the actual flower, which is really kind of cool. Hi, Pamela. So good to see you here. And so these vibrational essences will echo the symbolism. Not always. I found that sometimes it's a little bit different, so it's kind of cool. But when you take the flower essence, it helps bring your body's energy and your own, I guess, vibration, if you want to call it that, into alignment with what the flower gives you. And so it kind of helps you balance out. And I'll go more into that in just a moment. So who invented them? Let's talk about the gentleman who invented them. His name was Dr. Edward Bach, and he was a Welsh doctor, and he was actually traditionally trained, and he decided to pursue homeopathic medicine because in the 1920s and 1930s is when he did this. And it was after the Great War, World War I, when he saw a lot of the soldiers coming back and just unable to regain their health. And he did a lot of personal testing and research, and he tested everything on himself actually when he went through and did this. And he found that using this vibrational elixir, the flower remedies, he was able to actually help a lot of these soldiers overcome the trauma of being in war. And so it took him quite a long time. He did through the 20s and the 30s. He left his traditional medical practice and went to with the premise that you have symptoms and then you go out into nature and you look for what calls to you. So when I do this, actually, when I make flower essences, I'll go outside and there might be a flower that's been in my yard for years and I've enjoyed it and loved it, but it hasn't really called to me. And then all of a sudden one day I'll hear it and it'll go, me, pick me. I swear that's sometimes what I'm hearing. And I find that I need to make a flower essence out of it so that I can work with the properties, the energetic properties that it has. So this is what Dr. Bach did. He, over the course of 20 years, he categorized, cataloged, and worked with the essences of 38 different flowers. So 20 years, 38 flowers. And he spent time with each one, got to know each one, and tested it and found which ones would help with certain symptoms. And so of the 38 original, there are now actually hundreds out there that have been created. The original flower remedies do come from the Dr. Bach, and you can visit the Bach Center I think it's .com or is it .org, and it's CENTRE, so it's the British spelling. And if you visit there, you can go through and read the history of it, and you can look at what the 38 original remedies entailed. So the premise of the Bach flower remedies is that it's the ability to work on an energetic level, helping to bring balance. And so you're bringing balance back to the system, balance back to the energetic system. And this in turn can possibly help alleviate things such as anger, anxiety, depression, disassociation, fear, guilt, worry. And there are actually the 7 flower groups that he put them into, and I'll talk about that in a second. So you're helping to alleviate the symptoms by bringing the body back into balance. So if any of you are familiar with modalities such as Reiki, EFT, Acuconnect, Body Talk, they all work on balancing the body out energetically. And so the flower essences essentially do the same. The 7 Bach groups, you kind of centered around people who are feeling the specific symptoms. So the first one is having fear. Now the second is uncertainty. The third one is for people who are really kind of zoned out and not interested in what is going on currently. They're kind of, off in la-la land. The next one is people who experience a lot of loneliness. Then there's people who are very sensitive to outside influences. So it's kind of flibber-to-gibbet people who, if one person says something, you go in that direction. Someone says something different, you go in that direction. Then there is people who are very despondent or very, very much in despair. And then there's also the people who tend to care too much, those who are always being like the mother hen figure, always taking care of other people and unable to take care of themselves because they are constantly taking care of other people. So those are the 7 Bach groupings. I don't necessarily go by that. I have not been formally trained through the Bach system, so I kind of know the history and I know a bit about it, but I also studied flower essences while I was at the American College of Healthcare Sciences, and I've done a lot of practical experiential study on my own. I do create flower essences and I use them. So it's, yeah, I was actually very, very skeptical about flower essences when I first learned about them. And I had known about flower essences, probably about 20, 30 years ago. I had learned about them and never had a chance to really use them, never had a real need to use them. So I didn't. But in 2011. No, it must have been 2012 when I first started my studies. I actually was going through some major changes at my job as a teacher. There was a lot of stuff going on organizationally as well as student body-wise, and things were very chaotic. It was very, very overwhelming, and I got to a point where yeah, Pamela, skeptical about aromatherapy too. Yes, I same here, absolutely. It's kind of funny how we learn about these things, we don't really believe them, we try them, and we find that they work for us. So aromatherapy is another wonderful area to, and also that one, some of it actually works on an energetic level, but a lot of it does when it hits the blood-brain barrier and hits the brain cells with the aroma or the application of it. So yeah, aromatherapy is just a wonderful, another modality that I just really, really love. All right, so yeah, when I was working in as a teacher and then just found everything too overwhelming, I just learned about, I'd been reintroduced to the Bach flower remedies. So I went looking, and what I found was walnut. Walnut was the one that that called to me that I needed it, because walnut is about being in the midst of overwhelming changes and trying to find something to help balance you out. And so I tried it, and the funny thing is, I went into it going, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work. And within 2 days, 48 hours, I found that my whole attitude had changed. And I found myself just, the overwhelming change was still there. Nothing had changed, nothing had happened with that. But I found that I was reacting to it differently. I was calmer. I was more even-based. I could look at it and say, okay, this is what's going on. Let me think about some action steps I need to take to get myself through this. So it helped me pull back enough and balance out enough that I could then turn around and take action to make my situation better. So the funny thing about that is I took it for a few more days, because one of the most important things that you should know about flower essences is that they are not a long-term thing. You take them for a while, and then once the symptoms have gone away, you back off of them, and hopefully your body will continue to maintain that balance. You can always go back to them if you find things are going back to how they were before, but the whole idea is that this is not something, it's not like a happy pill you're going to take the rest of your life. And you might find that 1 week you need one flower essence, and then a couple weeks later you need a totally different flower essence, because you got through one thing and you were able to conquer that issue, and now there's something else that's come up. That's our lives. Our lives are like, they're like onions, many, many layers, although I'd rather have the parfait. So working with the flower essences, it's for short-term usage. You can use it for emergency uses. Bach's rescue remedy is excellent for that. But here's the disclaimer as far as using the flower essences. If you have any food allergies, such as grain allergies, you're allergic to wheat, you're allergic to barley or corn or something like that, be very careful in choosing your flower essence company. Bach flower essences are amazing. They work. For people like me who have a grain allergy, they don't work. Energetically, they're amazing. When my body reacted to the base that is used with the Bach flower remedies, I had a severe gluten reaction. I know, it's crazy. And it's not actually wasn't so much a gluten reaction, because in distillation, all alcohol is inherently gluten-free unless the gluten-containing products are added after the distillation process. But if you have a contact allergy to any kind of grain, you can potentially react. So please, if you do have those kind of reactions or those kind of sensitivities, source your flower essences very carefully. The Bach Center is aware of the reaction issue with their remedies, but because their remedies are close to 100 years old, they still make them with the same formulas that Dr. Bach did, which I love the fact that they are following the tradition. They have maintained the tradition. It's just that for people like me, I can't use the Bach, and that's a personal thing with me due to my body systems. But they are excellent remedies. I would absolutely encourage people to check them out and try them out. All right, so on to, let's see. I know there was something else I was going to talk about. Yeah, so that was my personal experience. Upcoming workshops. So this has been basically to talk about, just to introduce you to them. I'm going to talk about some specific flowers in a moment, and some specific remedies, especially ones that I have personally made. And otherwise, I'm going to be doing 2 more workshops. And the one coming up on July 13th is going to be talking about blending remedies, because you can use your flower essences as a single essence, or you can blend several together. And I've got actually a couple of blends that I have created. I'll talk about them in just a moment. And have you ever gotten in front of a screen and all of a sudden just blanked out? It's me right now. I have hanging up here. I have my outline, but I think I kind of skipped something. All right, so on the 13th, my workshop is going to be blending and practical application, and it's going to take you through how to actually blend several essences together to get the effect that you want. It is also going to teach you about how to properly use the flower essences. There are multiple ways that you can use them, and you don't always have to ingest them. They can be used topically as well. So we are going to be, on the 13th, I will be actually talking about those. And then on the 27th of July, I have the last workshop in the series, and that is creating the mother essence. That one is actually easier to do in person because it involves actually spending some time outside, which is wonderful, in the sunshine. However, I am going to take you through how to actually do the mother essence. I will show you what the materials are that you need. I will take you through the process that I use when I create a mother essence. And then we're going to discuss the difference between a mother essence and a flower essence, because they aren't quite the same thing. The flower essence is made from the mother essence. And then again, we'll review the practical application of them and the blending. And I have a lot of resources that I will share with you. Those 2 workshops actually will be done on Zoom. I won't be doing those on Facebook Live. I will just be doing those in Zoom, because the workshops on the 13th and the 27th are not freebies like this one. So there will be a little bit of a cost to them, just to give you a heads up. All right, so back to flower essences and what they do. So if you go to the Bach Center website and you look at them, the way Dr. Bach framed flower essences is he was looking for the aspects, I don't want to call them negative aspects, but these were the challenges that people were facing. So, people who are constantly living in fear, people who are uncertain, and you would find the essence that would help balance that out. The way I look at it and the way I do it is I look at ones that, I guess my wording is just the difference there. So instead of saying people who have fear, I might say people who, certain flower is one that is good for helping to overcome the fear, to helping you feel balanced and sure of yourself. So some of it is just the wording. And let me bring up my list of flower essence properties. There we go. All right, so in flower essence properties, for example, so if we are talking specifically about for example, fear. So on right before doing the workshop, I posted a little poster I'd made about azalea flower essence. So azalea flower essence, if you're not, the azalea that I use specifically is Rhododendron Tusi. I can't pronounce the Latin name, I apologize. And that I use the Latin names when I create the flower essences specifically because there are different varieties of flowers that may have different properties. So for me, what azalea does is it helps you communicate, especially with expressing emotions, and it helps to release fears that are related to success. And this could be a fear of success, a fear of failure, a fear of perfection, feeling vulnerable, things like that. It also helps you get out of your own way. You know, sometimes we're afraid to do something because we start overthinking it. And azalea can be very helpful to get yourself out of the way so you can move forward. It's also helpful it also helps you to see things through the lens of love. In other words, to not be so critical. All right. So that one I posted today because I was sitting there thinking I probably should pop out some of that azalea to take before I start this today. Yeah, because sometimes I need to get out of my own way. So two of the ones I wanted to talk to you about when I just mentioned that different varieties sometimes present different energetic properties. So this year in my backyard, I found, I always, as an herbalist, I find that I have a lot of things that just pop up and start growing in my yard. So this year I had Veronica. So Veronica is otherwise known as speedwell. Well, there are so many varieties of this little plant that is just kind of amazing. So the Veronica, let me find them on my little list here. I'm going to cheat and read from here. So let's see. There's Time Leaf Speedwell, which is Veronica serpifolia. And then there should be under Corn Speedwell, which is Veronica arvensis. So I have both of these growing in my yard. So I just felt called to make flower essences out of them one day. So I had my materials that I needed, and on the same day I did one with the Veronica arvensis and one with the Veronica serpifolia. And what I found was the Corn Speedwell, the Veronica arvensis, it presents more for focusing on releasing past anger and frustration. So when you are overthinking things that have happened in the past, when you're constantly going through and mulling things over and over and over again, it helps you move past that so that you can actually continue on and do something else, something more, and I just lost the word that I wanted to use, something more productive, that's it. All right, it also helps you release what no longer serves you. So it helps you, again, to move on, and it encourages healing on all levels, whether it's energetic or emotional. To me, it helps you, it helps encourage healing on a physical level too. It helps you balance out so that your body can do what it needs to do naturally. It's not that the flower essence heals you, it helps you balance out so that your body can do what it does naturally. The Time Leaf Speedwell, which is the Veronica serpifolia, this one helps you encourages the release of pent-up resentment through speaking up. So this one helps give you a voice. It helps you speak your frustration and get it out so it's not bottled up inside you. It also helps you in setting healthy boundaries. So it helps you to speak up, release the resentment, and set those boundaries so that you can create a more peaceful environment and a healthier environment for you as a person. It also helps clear the mind and find the peace to just breathe. And sometimes we need to be able to do that. Now, both of these Veronicas, the Corn Speedwell and the Time Leaf Speedwell, both of these have some similar qualities, but they presented so very differently when I made the essences. And to me, I think it's fascinating. I find it absolutely fascinating. But you can also blend these two together to create a very powerful essence blend for yourself if you needed to be able to release that resentment, anger, and the frustration, but also to be able to speak up about it and set boundaries. So what this does is this doesn't do the work for you. Flower essences will not do the actual work for you. What flower essences will do is help bring you to a place energetically where you will be able to take those steps to move forward and do what you need to do. So they're quite amazing little things. They something so simple can give you so much. All right. Let's see what else. As I said, they are not something that you would be taking for a really long period of time. You can take them for something that is sudden, like the rescue remedy if there is an accident or you're put into a very sudden situation where your first reaction is fight or flight. But you shouldn't take them for more than 3 or 4 days at the most, probably. And usually you can take the flower essences 2 to 3 times a day if it's not an acute situation. If it is an acute situation, you can take them generally up to 4 times a day, but you're not going to, let me show you the bottle. So usually they come in, some of them come in this size bottle, some of them come in the small, like 2, 3, 4, 5 ml bottles, the smaller ones. These ones, I have, the ones I created, I put in a dropper bottle. Some of them will have the orifice reducer like you have with an essential oil, and you can just do drops. So with the flower essences, you can put them under your tongue, you can put them on your wrist and rub it in, you can put them at your temples, you can put them into water. There's any number of ways to do it, and you would do this for an acute situation. You could do it up to 4 times a day for a couple of days. But if it does not get better after the first 36 hours or so, 48 hours at the outside, if it's not getting better, you need to get in to see a healthcare professional, please. Flower essences are definitely not a replacement for medical advice. And please understand, in this video, I am not giving you any medical advice whatsoever. I think flower essences are a wonderful adjunct to your medical regime. They are safe for everyone when they are used properly, but you do need to keep your doctor in the loop. So please do not try to use flower essences as a replacement for your doctor, because they're not. And if you try a flower essence and you find your situation is not improving, you do need to look into it further for your own health safety. All right. Also, because flower essences are made with, the mother essence is stabilized with alcohol. So I use grape vodka because I can source it locally and it is completely grain-free, and I can verify that it's grain-free. Other places use brandy. In Bach's teachings, the traditional flower essences or flower remedies are made with brandy. And he quotes a vibrational level for the brandy, and that's why he uses it. Unfortunately, a lot of brandy contains the cross-contamination, which is why a lot of people with grain issues, gluten issues cannot have brandy. The other thing to keep in mind is that if you, the flower essences generally are blended with water, distilled water, purified water, the mother essence, which contains alcohol, and glycerin. So if you have any blood sugar issues, you should be careful. Regardless of where you source your flower essences from, look at the ingredient list. They should be very simple. There should be hardly any ingredients at all in there. And so basically it's mother essence, maybe glycerin, and alcohol are the things that you should be seeing in there. So blood sugar issues, you might have a concern, although it's so little that You're only taking a couple of drops at a time, so it may not have a problem. You may not have a problem. It's just something to be aware of. And for anyone who has any kind of alcohol issues, whether it's sensitivity or an allergy to alcohol, or for other reasons that you just don't do alcohol, keep in mind that the flower essences themselves, the ones that you actually consume, will contain trace amounts of alcohol. There's not a lot, like in a drop, you might have like a tiny little minute amount. I don't know how to measure it, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. But so you do need to be aware, though, that there are some people out there who are so sensitive to alcohol that even that tiny little bit will affect them. So, but on the whole, on the general, flower essences are safe for even young children, as long as, again, I'm not giving you doctor's advice, so check with your doctor, as you would with any herbal protocol. Before you take them, just make sure. So when you go to blend, we'll talk about blending a little bit here. So one of the first blends that I created on my own was something I call my Overwhelm blend. And this has 1, 2, 3, 4. It actually has 5 essences in it. And of those essences, it's all about getting through the blocks, getting out of your way. So I've got Black Locust, Forsythia, Goldenrod, Linden Blossom, and Rose of Sharon. And what this blend does is it helps you kind of pull back, get out of your way, get out of your own way, balance out, and see things a bit more clearly. And it also helps, just allows you to breathe. So that's one of the ones that when I have gone through major job changes or things going on with my kids, I sometimes will take that one because it just helps me pull back and breathe a bit. I have a couple other ones that I do. I recently changed Muggle jobs, went back to teaching for a while, in addition to doing all of my Linden Tree intuitive stuff. And so I created a blend for that called Back to the Grind, because this past fall I got put into a teaching situation, which was unexpected, very rewarding, but highly stressful. And so for this one has broom, cranesbill, daffodil, goldenrod, honeysuckle, and mullein in it. It's kind of a surprising group of flower essences. But so this one, I took this one for on and off, probably for 3 months. I would take it for a couple of days, and I'd go off it for a while, and then I'd come back and take it for a couple of days. And I found that actually helped me regain enough balance that I could then learn the ropes of this new job that I was doing. So, and then my other one I call Happy Go Lucky. And this one is a very simple one of daylily and mock orange. And it is just very simply one that it boosts your mood. It is, if you're feeling kind of melancholy, or if you're kind of feeling sad and down and out, and you feel like nothing ever goes right for me, the Happy Go Lucky, this one, I had a lot of fun creating this one. And as I said, it's probably one of the most simple ones out there, but it just helps you regain some of that inner childlike happiness. You know how happy and go lucky you were as a kid, right? So both daylily and mock orange are flowers that help you reconnect with your inner child. And so making an essence out of the two of them, it kind of doubles the effect of, let's get happy again. Let's go out and blow some bubbles and play and roll around in the grass. Something fun. So, alrighty. So that is basically an introduction into flower essences, and I hope that this was informative. Again, I do want to make a plug for the Midwest Herb Fest, so herbaleducationinc.com. If you're interested, you can go there, find out more information. It's a great family-friendly, kid-friendly herb festival where we also learn a lot of stuff. And then we have, see, I'm trying to do this so you can see this on both screens. It's not showing up well on Zoom. So, okay, so lindentreeintuitive.com. This is my website. There we go. Oh, now you can see it, lindentreeintuitive.com. There we go. All right, so let's talk about the other two upcoming workshops. So again, on July 13th, I've got the blending and practical application workshop. And on July 27th, I have got the creating the mother essence workshop. So if you sign up by July 6th, I have actually severely reduced the prices for these workshops for people who sign up as early bird participants. And I have for each of the workshops, for today's workshop, for attending today's workshop, and for the other two workshops, I have some free thank you gifts for those of you who attend. And after this workshop, I will send out the freebie to the participants. Actually, I should probably go put that link in there right now for everyone who participated. There we go. So this one into Facebook, and this is, let's go here, thank you gift. There we go. Hopefully, there we go. Oh, hi everybody. Oh my gosh, I didn't even get a chance to scroll down. Hi Marsha, hi Jen, hi Wahali, hi Jen. Oh my gosh, nice to see you guys all in here. Sorry, my thing wasn't scrolling up so I could see everybody on the Facebook feed and everything like that. So yay, I'm so glad you guys all came in. Hopefully, I never even checked to see that my volume must be okay, right? So anyways, yeah, let's see. Let me put in my little thing into Zoom here, so for my participants in here. So do any of you in the Facebook crowd have, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So any of you in the Facebook crowd, while I'm playing around with my technology here, have any questions you would like to ask? And give me 1 second here so I can put this. This is what happens when I'm using my very old, there we go. All right, my very old laptop here. So do any of you have any questions, specific questions about flower essences that you would like to ask? Ask away. So for my local peeps, I would love to do this workshop. It takes about 4 hours to do actually all 3 of the workshops that I'm doing online. We can make it a one-time workshop. It'll be about 4 hours long. As long as, you know, the weather cooperates and everything, we could actually do it from start to finish in one fell swoop. It's a lot of fun. We get to play around with the flowers outside, spend some time outside, and commune with Mother Nature a bit, and so it's a lot of fun. So, all right. So, alrighty. It doesn't let you click the link, Jen. Uh-oh. I'll send you the link. Yeah. If anybody else has trouble clicking the link, let me know, and I can send it to you. Okay. Are you on your phone, Jen? I wonder if that might be part of it, because I just clicked and it let me go. So, yeah. Sweet violets and honeysuckle. Okay, hold on. Let me find my, there we go. Oops, no, click on that. So, okay. So violet, the violet I actually use is the common violet, but it helps with, because that's the one that grows in the yard that you can find very easily, and it helps with expressing your individuality and confidence and okay, let me start that again. Rewind. Violet, it helps you with expressing your individuality and being confident about it. It brings out joy and lifts your spirits, and it is supportive in helping you to feel self-reliant, as well as releasing past traumas. And honeysuckle, I wish I had all these memorized. Honeysuckle is great for balancing the past with the present, to learning, helping you to learn from the past and move on from it as well. So the two of them together are really, they would actually make a very nice blend to help you deal with the past and then kind of move on from there and kind of lighten your heart as on the journey. So the link won't work for you either, Jen. Okay. All right. So let me try it this way. Let me find the, yeah, I don't know why the link isn't working. Hold on. Let me, ooh, lilac. You know, I have not done lilac, Wahali, because I am so deathly allergic to it. And I'd have to go to someone else's house to steal some because I don't have any in my yard. I keep wanting to do dogwood too, but I haven't gotten brave enough to ask my neighbor if I could steal some of their dogwood as well. All right, let me go back and find the link, actually. Hold on. There's, okay. Let me go into there. Let me try, okay, control that. All right, come on. With the link, I wonder if maybe if you copied and pasted it into a thing, it might work. Here is the actual link, not the bit.ly link. So that one might work better, maybe. If it's showing, there we go. Okay. Oh, the link may not work while live. Okay, that's a possibility. Okay, you could try copying and pasting it into a tab, or the link that I just put up is the actual link to the MailChimp landing page for the download, for the freebie. But yeah, lilacs. I know I keep thinking that I probably should do lilac at some point. So I might have to, I'll have to wait until next spring to do it because obviously it's the wrong season. But one of the other things that I am actually looking at doing are moon essences. So they are basically flower essences, but they are done by the light of the full moon. And there's some other things that you have to do with them. So I am kind of hoping that maybe in July, because I have a couple of flowers that have called to me and said they want to be moon essences. And that's going to be more for the woo side of business, I think. I don't know why, it just feels like it is. So maybe I'll have to do a woo shop on moon essences at some point. Ha 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 ha. So yeah. So MailChimp. No, MailChimp is supposed to have a period in the middle of it. So it may not work while it's live, but I can message, I'll message all of you guys and send you all the link if it hasn't worked. So just let me know and I can just send it into a message for you. So, but alrighty, I think unless anybody has any other questions, let me know. And I do apologize if you go back and watch the replay. I kind of was stumbly at the beginning of this because sometimes it takes me a while to get the groove going. You know, I do that when I'm teaching Muggle school too. So, but maybe that's why Hogwarts needs to hire me so that I can go and, you know, be the long-term sub for Professor Sprout, right? So anyways, I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you so much for being here, and I really appreciate the support and everything, and I will catch you around. And local peeps, again, let me know if you want a local workshop. I'm more than happy to hook you up. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it, and I will see you around. Bye.